Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on in. I hope everyone is doing well. And let me get myself situated here. Alright, let's see. See what I got going. Okay. Bring the screen up here. Cool. Welcome on, everybody. Welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you all had a good weekend thus far and continues to be a good one. I hope you had a good week as well. Think about taking names and all that stuff. So apologies on the lack of stream last night. I realized right at the last minute that one of the things I rely on to get to be able to use, I normally use my Surface laptop to do development on, and I've been relying on a software KVM program to control it, because I only have my hardware KVM only has 4 ports, and I've got them all used up. But I actually think this one that I have can daisy chain to another one, so I might look into that. But yeah, I sat down. I was about ready to stream everything, and then realized I have no way to control my my tablet without that software KVM. So I tried a few things. I tried installing like Moonlight and Sunshine. Well, Sunshine on that, and then Moonlight on this one. And I got it working, but like it could control the mouse and keyboard and stuff, but I couldn't see the screen. Like I'd have to look at the tablet screen to see what was going on. So that wasn't very ideal. So I said, you know what? Maybe it's time to bite the bullet. I mean, the tablet's good, but it also has, pretty old hardware on it. Low-powered hardware. And I'm kind of taxing it a bit. So I thought, well, I have this, dual boot machine. And it's looking more and more like I can get most of my stuff. I can do most of the stuff that I needed Windows for in Linux. So I said, I was like, you know what? I've got 2 operating systems on it. What's a third one? And I reduced my, like I originally had, so I have 4 NVMe hard drives in it, and I had 2 for Windows and 2 for Debian Linux, and I was just like, you know what? I'm probably not going to jump into Windows for really that much at all, and even if I do, it'll be for the occasional game. So I guess I don't really need 2 4 terabyte hard drives devoted to it. So I went into Windows, and I removed one of the drives from, I deformatted one of the drives, unpartitioned it, and had it removed from Windows. And then I ran the Debian installer again from USB, and I put another install of Debian Trixie with KDE and everything on that other drive. So I've got 2 installations of Debian and 1 Windows. And I did that because I wanted to isolate the dev box to, like, it's going to use all the same hardware, which is good. It's a good test because I can test it there and test it in Windows with the same hardware and get hopefully similar results. But also, when you're doing development work, you have to install a whole bunch of stuff, you know, like libraries and stuff that you don't need normally for just regular mundane tasks. And similarly, when you're doing, you know, as your daily driver, you have things installed on that, on my other install of Debian that I don't need for development. So I thought it made sense to just kind of keep them separate, but on the same hardware. And then all I have to do is just reboot to come back into one versus the other, which is a little bit of a pain, the rebooting, but it doesn't take very long. So why not? So that's what I've been doing. So this is a even more stripped down version of Debian than I had on the gaming rig. So I don't have everything set up yet, but I've got, I think, the stuff that I need in order to do some development. So there's that. I checked on my Surface laptop, and I was all committed because I know that we had gotten to the end of chapter 7 of the Vulkan book that I've been going through, but we had a problem. But it looks like I have checked all that in, so I should have all the latest here. And if I need to do anything, I need to pull anything off of that, I can. The big thing right now is I need to get this set up to run and stuff, which shouldn't be that big a deal. I just have to get things kind of set up here. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that while we try to figure out what was going on with my stuff. And I probably have to install some libraries for Vulkan and stuff like that, probably. So, because I don't have anything on here at all right now. So we'll have to do that together here. So application, and this is... where's my source name Java? There it is. Why is it not letting me take main Java? What's going on here? Huh. Hey, ID10 TE coder. Welcome on in. How's the Java GameDev going on libgdx? Nope. I'm doing I picked up some books on GDX, but I'm not I haven't gone down that route. I'm using LWJGL for the stuff. Trying to go through and just learn from scratch. I mean, learning the OpenGL stuff I did a bunch of, and now I'm just kind of going through Vulkan stuff. There's a whole book that they have that kind of introduces you to how to do programming in Vulkan and all that. So I've just got through like chapter 7 of it, which was the initial foray into showing 3D objects. But I ran into a problem, and long story short, I'm on a different computer now, and I'm trying to get this computer set up. I have all my code committed, but I'm trying to like get everything situated again here. So it's but it's been slow, but it's been oh no, JDK specified. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. Because I think I updated the JVM. What JDK version? But it, you know, it's been going fairly well. I mean, I've been pulling my hair out a lot, but it's I'm making it. I'm making it so far. Yeah, 21. Let's try 24 here for that stuff, and that's what I need to do. I need to set up the JVM thing here. I do have one on here. Compiler. Where is it? Target GDK when possible. Okay. Yeah. That's what I want to do. JDK from disk, so user local. Oops. Okay. Oh, that was the one that I already picked. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So now, why do I keep doing that? There we go. Nice. Okay, now I should be able to do. There it is. All right, and then let's just apply that for a second. Where's my everything is so sorry, I gotta make everything not be so freaking tiny here. What's the zoom? It's probably up here, right? View. Increase font size in all editors. Control plus equals. Okay. That's a little bit. It's a little better for you guys. Sorry about that. I realized that how small it was for you. On screen there. Also these colors. I thought. What was the other theme? Was I using Darkula? I think I was using just plain dark. Yeah, I think so. That's maybe a little bit better. Okay. Sorry. This is the problem with. I am the problem dev right here. Like you sit down at a computer and nothing's set up the way you want it to, and you spend all your time getting things set up just right. Um. So minus E, OpenGL. Okay, so. Okay, so what do we got now? A terminally deprecated method and unsafe has been called. That's fine. That's just a warning. Exception thread main. Unable to load model. Oh, right. I forgot to bring the model over. Okay. All right. One advantage to having it on a tablet is I can take it anywhere. Let's see if I can. Oops, I forgot to copy things over and stuff. This is on me. All right, what do I need? Home development. Should I copy over? Guess technically I should copy all this over at some point, but right now, just need a few things. What's on Vulkan SDK? Lunar Vulkan SDK. I'll have to get that probably at some point. But right now, okay, models. Okay. So I just need to copy this puppy. Over to no, I never even hooked this up to the to my network thing. Throw it in here. Probably should be in here anyway. Go. Get that. All right, that'll do for the moment. Oh, I probably should have gave it time to actually sync up. But, let's see. All right, let me just. There's a lot of stuff in this folder, so let me hide this for a second here. Copy that. Okay. Was that? Was that? Okay. Alright, good stuff. Let's see. This works. Load model. Loader load. Ship. Probably just have to change this path here. Cigarette. Elements. Bet it's just that part, right? Alright, let's try this. What else we got here? Unable to load textures for path. Oh, I have the textures too. I guess I could just do a search for... This is texture path. Okay, and okay. No, I don't. I have so many copies of stuff here that I don't know why I have it in 20 different places, but this is part of the going through and learning here. All right, cool. So this is still working. So the OpenGL version still good. All right, cool. Cool. So that's good. So then want the same one, but this will be Vulkan. That's not right. That's not right at all. I did say minus E Vulkan, right? So I'm not going crazy there, right? Yeah, because it defaults to OpenGL. Oh, maybe it's not actually doing the command line option because it's defaulting to OpenGL. Did I put the wrong thing in the wrong thing here? Command line arguments to your application. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, Xcode, welcome. How are you doing? Put a breakpoint here. Let's debug that. Yeah, args minus E. Vulkan. And args use Vulkan, or use engine is Vulkan. That's correct. I don't know why that says false. Where's my... Oh. I'm an idiot. As if there was any doubt, I'm an idiot. Vulkan, V-U-L-K-A-N, not V-U-L-C-A-N. Yep, that's about the half of it. Let's run that. Okay, so that failed, which is what I was expecting. So we're getting the fatal error thing. And this is what I was getting before. So this is good. We're back to where we were. Excuse me. Oh. Okay. Okay. What's going on with all these toolbars and stuff? Everything looks... Yeah, performance widget. I must have... Oh, you know what? I probably have an updated version of... Updated beyond what I use at work. Because everything looks a little bit different here. Explain a little bit about the project. Well, I mean, basically I'm just trying to learn how to write a game engine. At the end of this, I might have a game, but I'm not really... My end goal is not necessarily to make a game, just to learn how to make one. And if anything does come out of it, it'll be free, right? Because all the code is open source and everything. But basically, I decided that I wanted to just... I've never written a game before. I could have used other, commercially available engines. I could have used Unity. I could have used Godot. Unreal Engine. Um, but I am I'm a coder, right? And as much as those engines are really good and really robust, and they do require some coding, I I learn best by doing, and I really wanted to learn the innards of an engine and all that stuff. So I decided to um, go online, find some resources, um, and try and learn how to write a game. Now, I'm doing it in Java uh, because it is the language that I use the most during the day for my day job. So I thought it would be best for me to learn in something that I already know, right? Because sure, I could have written it in C or something else, and I've written stuff in C way back in college, but it's been decades since I've done anything in it, and I would end up having to kind of learn the language at the same time I'm learning the concepts, and I thought it would be best from a learning perspective for me to just focus on one topic at a time, and that's the learning about the engine. So that's why I'm doing it in Java. I've got there's a couple different options for Java. There was libgdl, GDK, GDX, sorry, which looks pretty promising and cool, and I definitely want to check that out at some point. But I decided to go with LWJGL, which is famously the engine that Minecraft uses under the covers, since that's probably the most Java game anyone knows about who isn't necessarily into engines and stuff, or into programming language anyway. And I decided to take a look at that to see what it was all about, and it seemed to be the most robust. Like, it had a lot of already built-in support for a lot of different libraries that you have to use, like libraries to load up models and do menuing and all that stuff. So, and most importantly, both OpenGL and Vulkan drivers out of the gate, which will pretty much cover all the bases, as far as having something that would work on a variety of different operating systems and platforms and stuff. So yeah, and I'm basically just trying to learn Vulkan by looking at examples and some books and information online. I have hit up a little bit here and there of some AI stuff, just to help me kind of learn where, more as a search thing than anything else, so I could search out how to do things, or an idea of how to do things. But then I write the code myself. I don't copy it over. But I mostly use it as just like as an enhanced Google more than anything else, because it suffers from the same thing that most AI stuff suffers from, which is it hallucinates a lot of stuff, particularly with a topic like this where there's really not a lot of good documentation out there. And that's kind of the big crazy bugbear about this whole thing, is that if you want to write a game in C, you've got a ton of resources. You want to write a game in Python, you've got a ton of resources. You want to run a game or you want to write a game in I'm trying to think of anything else. C and Python are basically the ones that have the most, I guess. It's there, or if you're trying to write it in already established engine. There's all kinds of documentation and examples and tutorials and everything else. But Java, it's been very hard to find information on how to do things, and a lot of it, even this book that I'm looking at online, looks like it's been kind of converted from C to Java, because there's a lot of things that you would do in C that you wouldn't do in Java. You would do differently. Like the code looks like it's C code in a lot of places, where there's some syntactic sugar that you could do in Java that would be a little bit better. So we're going to get started with Java without falling for tutorial hell. So if you're talking Java language stuff, I would say, like, if you're talking base Java language, there are definitely books, like hardbound books softcover books that I would say would be the best way to start. I'm not sure of anything online particularly. I mean, you've got like D-Zone and stuff, but that's a lot of they have tutorials, but there's a lot of speculative stuff there, more than just tutorializing stuff. There might be some MIT open courseware out there that on Java as well, as far as that's concerned. But if you're speaking specifically games, it's slim pickings. I mean, I've found this Vulkan book here on GitHub under LWJGL GameDev, and that's about it. And OpenGL has a few more, and there was an OpenGL book that I was looking through, but a lot of it is, specifically with OpenGL, a lot of it's in C, because that was really the primary language of both that and Vulkan. There's also, I don't know if, so GameDev.net still exists. And there's a lot of tutorials here. New version available. Okay. There's a lot of tutorials here, but as I recall, a lot of these are like high level, not high level, but a lot of these are like algorithms, like A-star algorithms and stuff like that, velocities, physics stuff. So this is not foundational stuff per se. This is after you've got the foundations already in place. And a lot of this is, again, in C. So you'd have to like translate some of it. But yeah, I mean, those are the best ways. As far as like, so Manning books. Yeah, so Manning has a lot of Java topics in particular. There's other topics too. There's other languages too, but they have some of the best books when it comes to like learning a particular topic. And they also have what's the word I'm looking for? They also have ebooks and stuff in PDFs, so you can actually buy, you purchase it, but you buy the PDF or the ebook rather than an actual physical book. So yeah, so they got like development stuff, they got Python stuff, web stuff, databases. I believe they have something. What do they have for Java here? Java language. Yeah, the well-grounded Java developer. Java fundamentals probably a good one. Foundations, Java for beginners. Yeah, that kind of stuff. You have a foundation for Python, you know Java syntax, you're doing generics. See, I did not know remove after that. I could start. How long have I been working with Java programming? So I started. So my last year of college is when I actually started getting into Java. But professionally, it would be since 2003. So we're talking like 21 years, roughly, because there was a year in there where I worked for a company that was using Ruby on Rails. So I did a little bit of Ruby on Rails professionally, but mostly Java. Yeah. Foundation. I know. Try and do generics. Do not know where to move after that. Oh, well, I mean if you've got generics down already, that's pretty darn good, because that took me a while. That took me a while. The other thing that took me a long time was lambdas, because that is very much a functional programming thing that's been brought over, concept that's been brought over to Java, and it's very powerful, but it can also be very very hard to grok at times, as well, when you're reading code. So I try to use it where it makes sense to use it. So lambda is another good thing to look at. And really, honestly, Java kind of has the same problem that C has, where it's been around so long that the language itself isn't really the thing that you learn. It's more the all the libraries you end up using. So, I mean, there's a lot of like any Java project has a ton of third-party libraries that it brings in. Usually, I mean, you've got your normal Apache Commons stuff, which is very powerful. But I'm talking like bigger things like frameworks and things like that, and that really comes down to what you're trying to do long term. So if you're getting into Java just as a hobby thing, and you maybe want to do some web stuff, it wouldn't hurt you to look at Spring framework. It's big and ugly and awful at times, but it is extremely powerful. Um, and it talks about basically it takes care of creating objects, creating singletons and stuff, and managing that. I'm trying to think. There's a word for it, and it's long since left my brain, because it's become so commonplace now. Um, dependency injection, yeah, basically, and it does a lot of that stuff. If you're going to do like web stuff, if you're going to do like fat app sort of gaming stuff, I mean, that's when you start looking at like lib GDX and other things like that. There's Vulkan libraries out there. There's one that I was just looking at the other day that is a little bit more straightforward. If you just want to do straight Vulkan engine stuff and you don't want all the overhead of like a big library like LWJGL is. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you just sort of have to cast a pretty wide net. done singleton classes without using any library in Lambda 2. Learning for second semester, first year student. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, if you've already done singleton classes and you got lambdas and stuff already, then that's good. That's very, very good. Because you're well on your way. I mean, since you're a student, I would say, get your patterns down, and your well, both patterns and data structures. Now, patterns aren't in the real world. Patterns are overblown a bit. They're useful, but sometimes people follow them without really thinking it through. And so what I mean by patterns are like, let's see, Wikipedia. Let's try to think of the names of them now. Java, adapter pattern. Yeah, so software design pattern. Here we go. Let me see if they've got a list of some of them here. So pattern languages, object-oriented programming, yeah. Creational patterns. Here we go. So get to know all these. You've got singleton already. So abstract factories, builders, dependency injection is what I was talking about earlier. Factory methods, lazy initialization, multitons, object pooling, prototypes. And then you got like your bridge, your composite, your decorator, your facade. A lot of these they're more daunting to read about than they are to actually use. And honestly, most people don't follow them directly. They might just do them as an after effect of what they're trying to accomplish, right? There are people, like I said, that will latch onto one of these patterns and everything's got to be that pattern. But then there's people like me that just kind of float between whatever makes the code the more maintainable and still readable at the same time. Yeah, chain of responsibility, all these things. Like these are all. So I'll tell you right now, these are all the things that you're expected to learn in school. And when you go to get your first job, they'll definitely toss a few of these questions at you just to see that you've been paying attention in school. Beyond that, you'll end up like I did and end up forgetting them and just either implementing them just out of habit because you've seen them done in other code that you've been working on, or stumble into a pattern that's already been established, right? So, it's one of those things where you definitely need to know these as a foundation because that will make the difference between, a lot of times will make the difference between you getting a good interview and not. But once you get into the real world and start doing things, these kind of, like most things in programming, most things get reinterpreted through whatever lens is necessary to get the job done. I mean, every single company out there will say that they're following the Agile Manifesto, and I guarantee you none of them actually are. They've all got some custom version of it that they're following. And frankly, I think that's for the best, because a lot of those behavioral patterns that these technology evangelists come up with are just they look good on paper, but in practice they fall apart very easily, because as it turns out, everybody works differently. You get enough people together who work differently, they're going to find a way that allows them to do their job, and the rules be damned. And honestly, I'm not I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, I would look at like the software design patterns and stuff like that, go through them, make some examples. They might even have some examples here. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the flow charts and stuff. There you go. They've got a C# example here, C++, PHP, Scala, Python. Oh, there's a Python example. So there, Python, you can pull it from that and make it into Java. They don't have a, oh, they do have a Java example here. Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say someone took their time here, went through and fleshed out this Wikipedia page. And yeah, it's the Gang of Four patterns, which was you need to know that kind of thing too. Again, a lot of this stuff is stuff you need to know as a foundation, but then as you get more experience, they'll naturally flesh themselves out. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Also, these are a lot of these patterns. So there's two major books that, three, I guess, that a lot of developers, regardless of language, tend to look at. One of those is called Design Patterns, Elements of Reusable Object-Oriented Software, and that's linked here. Code Complete, which I happen to have. This is an older version that they have linked here, but I have a newer version of that lying around, which talks about code smells and code quality. It uses Java for its examples, but it's just there as a way to show that what applies there could apply anywhere, basically. And then Effective Java, which is really just Java, but that's another big book that a lot of people swear by. So, a lot of these books, even though they teach you Java, they also teach you software practice too, a lot of times. Which is why I say it's not necessarily like we now exist in a world where it's not necessarily the language anymore. It's that you can. It's the thought pattern. It's how your thoughts about how you approach problem solving. Which is why it's also important that I think that everybody should have at least be a polyglot when it comes to it. Have a main language that you enjoy, that you love, but you probably should also look at other languages too. even ones you don't particularly like. Like, I mean, yes, I know Java, but I also know Ruby, and I also know C to an extent, and haven't dug into Python yet, but someday maybe I will. And it's once you've got one under your belt, the others tend to fall into place pretty easily because they all tend to share a similar concepts along the way, just different implementations. But it does give you an appreciation for the thought patterns of how to approach a problem, because every one of those languages has its own way of approaching problems, and some are better than others. You get something like Rust, or what was that one that I was working in? Man, the words are not coming to my brain here. Yeah, I don't remember right now, but you get something like Rust, and it's got memory safe architecture. It's big deal problem that it's trying to solve is unsafe memory accesses, and so it jumps through a lot of hoops to make sure that you can't do that as easily. I mean, you still can do it, but not as easily as you could do it or by accident as you could in other languages. So, hey, big task at hand. Welcome on in. Everything's going good with me. How are you doing? So yeah, there you go. Little background stuff. Okay, so this is good. So we're back to the error that I was having in the other machine, is that we're having a core dump here. So I have missed something big, huge, while I was trying to whatchamacallit it. Okay, so I have that. So what was I was looking at forward render activity. So let's see what I've got here. So my thought was that I missed something in here while I was reading over the book. I think first of all, I need to set up my virtual desktops here because I need to be able to switch back and forth a little bit easier. So where's my virtual desktops? There we go. So this is... go. View over to coding desktop. There we go. So I should be able to. Nice. That's a lot easier. Okay. So I get tangled up in wires here. Alright, good. Trying to learn Python. Oh, nice. Nice. But it works out well. Like I said, trying to learn that myself at some point in time. One of these days I will dig into it just to see what all the hoopla is about. Good luck on that. It does look like, though, Python has a lot of game development stuff, potentially. So that's pretty exciting, too. All right. So what did I do? What did I do to make the programming gods unhappy? Tile shader have changed. Fragment vertex shader, fragment shader. Okay. I guess it would be helpful to... It didn't say where it crashed though, did it? I feel like we had dug down to where it was crashing and I didn't. It didn't say here, did it? Oh, you know what? There's a core dump. Let's look at that. It's probably this one. Yeah, okay. So thread main. Float renderer submit. Base device queue. Okay. So base device queue submit. All right. So I'm submitting I'm calling base device queue submit. This is base device queue. So where is that at? Over here in their examples. Okay. So here's submits. So VK submit info, calloc stack, VK structure type submit info. Command buffers, signal semaphores. If wait semaphores is not null, submit info, wait semaphore count, wait semaphores capacity. Destinations Stage masks. Wait, semaphore count 0. Fence handles, fence cycle null, fence VK, VK fence, no ID. Fence handle, design null, fence get ID. Yeah. VK check, VK cubic submit. So obviously when I queue that submit up, yeah, VKQ submit. Okay, so it's having a conniption there. Unknown readable memory. Hey, Seabird, welcome on in. How you doing? So what did I do? So pointer buffer, long buffer, long buffer. Fence. So clearly I've not populated this stuff correctly here. Well, I guess the easiest thing to do would be to put breakpoint here, and then let's see what everything looks like here. So command buffers. Oof, this is so tiny. Can I? There's a way to do the zoom on everything, right? Like I can barely read it. Behavior. Oh, here we go. Zoom. Oh, that's much better. Let's do 125. There we go. That's so much better. I can read again. Holy hell. All right. Command buffers. Container null. Wait semaphores. Single semaphores. These are all null. guessing is the problem. Well, not necessarily, because we have one there that does call them with nulls. What was it called from? In this dump here, who called this? Forward renderer submit. Who called it? Okay. So being called from forward renderer submit. And these are all null? That seems like the problem. Put a breakpoint there. Okay. What happened there? It's not hitting the other breakpoint? Wait a minute. So it's getting here with those set to null. It's not even getting into that. It's not getting into here at all. It's gotta be getting into there. Oh, well, this is getting called from prepare model. So that's probably okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, prepare model calls it with that. Okay, so now we're in here. And we have stuff. Right, and then fence handle is that, and then this is where it fails. That's where it fails. What's the submit command to Q? Okay, so the submit of I'm trying to think where to. So obviously these are not getting built correctly. Submit info, VK submit info, VKQ. Fence handle. So when it's getting called from here, 143, something here is not getting set right. Okay. So you have stack pointer, stack pointer, stack long, stack in, stack longs. And then the current fence. From the current frame. So this is in forward renderer submit. So forward renderer. Wait, is it forward render activity? Yeah, I think that's the one. Command buffers index. Fences index. We have current fence reset in there. What is that? Command buffers, current fence. This is actually moved. So right above, swap chain, sync semaphores. So let me do that. Just in case that's like clearing out something, one of these. Okay. Same problem, looks like. Yeah, same problem. getting a what? Segment fault, ultimately? Which usually means I'm reading from memory I shouldn't be reading from. So, what did I botch up there? Interesting. I gotta figure this out. So where do I... buffers index, fences index. Swap chain, get current frame. Oops. There's 0. Let's get current frame, command buffer, get current frame. Oh, it's a series of pointers to longs. And did I do that right? I don't think so. Wait a second. Oh, no, yeah, I did. Think. So I have to follow. I'm gonna have to follow the chain all the way up to figure out where I went wrong here. I think. Let's see. Fences, swap chain, command buffer. So our swap chain, fences, and command buffers set properly. Fences. So I gotta look at the constructor here. So swap chain is passed in, but the fences is ooh, excuse me. Fences is just add on to. Okay. That's the other thing. Command buffers. Command buffers are added to as well. Okay, so looks like all of them except for swap chain are created here in forward render. So in the constructor, so I need to compare this code. I know I took a few liberties here with looping and stuff. All right, first things first. I know I haven't been sitting long, but I need to stand up. My legs are hurting me. I need to stand up and walk around for a bit and maybe get some oxygen back into my brain and get the old brain cells working. So I'm going to take a 3-minute break or so just to stretch and whatnot. I'll be right back. Hang tight, friends. Enjoy the music. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I really needed to stand up and walk around a bit. It's the one problem that's crept up on me over all the years of coding here is sitting down at the desk for too long. Oh, all right. Cool. Okay, let's see if I can track down in here where I have gone awry. Let's see. So we got swap chain, pipeline cache, scene, device, swap chain, get device. All right. So we got swap chain, scene, device, swap chain, get device. I'll set the pipeline cache. I think it was because I didn't see any reason to keep the pipeline cache around since we don't use it for anything beyond the initial pipeline creation. So that's fine. Right, they don't... Does that get used for anything else? I mean, maybe they're keeping it around so that it stays in memory for some reason. That's something we have to clean up. Then you just do pipeline cleanup. I mean, it could be that they're relying on that for something here. Pipeline cache. Where does that come in at? Do new pipeline. Cache get device. You see that is used there and then it goes out of memory. Oops, that's not do that at all. So maybe they're specifically keeping that in memory for some reason here. So I'm gonna do I mean that's the one big difference so far. So let's just do permit final pipeline cache. Pipeline cache. Oh, you know what's going on? I forgot. It's on right now. It's gonna drive me nuts. Shortcuts. Key map. Here we go. Where's that? Here we go. This one. Okay. And there you go, that'll work. That should hopefully turn that off. Because I hate when it's just constantly doing that. Let's save that real fast. Let's see if this did anything. No. I didn't think so, but I figured I would give it the old college try there on that one. Yeah, same problem. So device, swap chain, get device, number of images, swap chain, get image views, length. Wait, what? Create depth images, create frame buffers. Swap chain, get image views, length. I don't have that one, but I might not need that one. Okay, compile, modify vertex shader, fragment shader. I think those are fine. Forward shader program, new shader program, blah blah. Pipeline create info. Render pass shader program. Okay, render pass. Share, Vulkan share program. Okay, then pipeline creation info. Okay, and then command buffer. Command buffers. Please list the number of images. See, I'm doing a new. Fence is equal. New fence device true. Command buffer. I mean, that looks. Swapchain get image views for each. That is the same thing, right? Swapchain get image views, yeah. Length, but for each. I don't know, that looks like the like it's the same stuff. If I clean up. The other thing I could think is it's something to do with the swap chain. Stumped on this. Trying to think of where could I have screwed this up at somewhere? This is the other problem I have with libraries like the Vulkan library that have so much boilerplate in them, is that it's that much more code that could go wrong along the way that you have to then try to piece together where you went wrong. You know what I mean? It's just because it could be anywhere along the pathway here that I've missed something or transposed something or otherwise. Damn. Oh, where would I... How can I narrow this down? Is there anything else in that? I don't think there's anything else in this core dump that I could look at. Yeah, I don't... If there's anything else here that I can do anything with. And arguments. Operating system information there. I mean, he's got the stack trace here. It's just... We know it's when we're trying to submit the queue. But I don't know why, and it's set in signal 11, which is signal seg fault. Which means we're reading memory that we shouldn't be reading usually. Base device queue. Okay, engine device, base device queue. Oh yeah, that's the name of the file. Let's see. Let's submit command. Submit info Q. Submit info is right there. Fence handles here. Candle handle. Let me see. Code. Oh, here's something. Stack Overflow. So I create a game engine Vulkan, but when calling VKQ submit, the program just gives me a segmentation fault. Look through code multiple times, I can't find a reason why the seg fault occurs. Messages. Huh. There's no answer to that, huh? This round using call first render pass to create a shadow map I get. They send it false. Single CM4 in a command buffer I'm giving, valid CM4 and wait stage. VK null handle for defense. No, yeah, they say you're supposed to be able to pass VK null handle. Right. image views isn't setting S type, the actual swap chain image. Image views isn't setting S type, the actual swap chain image. It's something anyway. Views. Walk-in image view. What did they say it was? VK. Image views. Create image views. We can certainly put a breakpoint there and see what happens. If that gets called before that one. It is. Image pointer. Pointer ID. So just make sure this hasn't changed. Let me see. Device aspect mask, MIP levels. Has the data has aspect mask and stuff in it. And MIP levels. Okay. So long pointer. And then we get into the crate. Oh wait, is that long? Long buffer stock. Okay. Structure type image view crate info. Images image pointer. Aspect mask, base nip level. Level count, base array. Layer count. Device create info, null image viewpoint. Device create info, null image pointer. Okay. So, number of images is 4. Image array is 4. So image views now has unmodifiable list of images. Image views in Vulkan swap chain. stumped here as to what I have missed. Obviously, it's something really obscure, or it would have jumped out at me by now. Or not obscure, but something that looks at a cursory glance to be correct, but in fact is very, very wrong. I wonder if there isn't much further I can dig down either, right? Because we're getting into, because it's failing. In the J and I call. I do feel a little bit better that I'm not the only one that's had a problem like this while learning it. So that's a positive, at least, based on the Google search. What else can I do? I guess I mean I could load up the debug stuff for Vulkan. I don't know that it's going to give me any more information than I already got here. Because it's clearly saying that I'm messing up the memory somewhere along the way. Like I'm playing the memory that is, one of my memory pointers is incorrect. The problem is narrowing down which one is incorrect. So if I were to, let me try something here. try what I was about to do? I was about to like change a few of these things. Bothering me is this current fence reset. Like, what is that? I know they had that, but why are we doing that? I mean, they're doing the same thing. Set fences. Okay, reset fences. This is under fence. I need to even download sources and documentation. I need to be able to roll over these and see what I'm looking at. Says resets one or more fence objects. Sync semaphore. Swap chain get sync semaphore list. What was this? So. Yeah, I am fully stumped on that. Just out of curiosity, let's just try something. I was signed in. All right, let me sign in on this. Alright, got that back. Getting the segment fault when calling submit on memory pointers, the queue submit method. That was the scope of the memory stack. What are they doing? Command buffers, lightweight. Stages. Yeah, I doubt that that's the thing. I highly doubt that. Well, it was a fun jaunt into AI. Like, what do they have here? They've got stack longs, pointers, inst longs, and current fence. Inst longs. Okay, pipeline, stage color attachment, output bits. Have that. It's not even there. It's failing in here. So handling P-weight semaphores. Semaphores and P-weight, that stage mask parameters together. If weight semaphores is not null but has a capacity of 0, it can still pass the null check and then capacity reset to 0. Empty buffer. Check the capacity of the buffer. I mean, that's general defensive coding, but that's... I mean, I can debug this point and see if those are fleshed out or not, I guess. Oh yeah. Well, they're null for this case, which is fine, right? It actually takes that okay. Yeah. And now they're populated. So destination stage mass, weight semaphores. And fence is not null. So we have a fence handle. Now the thing is, I could have the wrong handle. Which on the face of things would make the most sense, right? Like I've got an ID there of 140397 blah blah blah. So I could trace that fence back. So this goes back to here, right? Current fence. Fences get current fence. This is a new array list. Adding a fence there. New fence device signaled. Fence. Device ID buffer get. VK create fence. So ID is that getting different IDs, which is good. Let's see, what's interesting here is I'm getting a failed to submit command to queue here in debug mode. When I run it, I don't get anything. I just get a core dump. Because in debug mode, I'm getting what I would expect. Like I'm getting an actual error that I've caught. You know, failed to submit command to queue. But then when I run it, it's not even giving me that error. Unless it's in the logs there. Maybe I logged it. How is that? Validation. There's nothing there either. So that feels like a race condition or something, because, and this is why I always run my stuff in non-debug mode, because sometimes the debugger will slow the code down enough that it will quote unquote work properly. Like in this case, it's showing the error message and not a core dump. But when you run it without debugger, it's not even, it's just dumping core immediately. Which tells me that I need, I'm trying to access memory before it's been allocated. Because there was like, at one point in time, there was, so there's a wait. I don't think it's the semaphores though. But there was like a wait for fence or something, I feel like, at some point. And it's, I'm almost betting now, like there's just like one line or something that I missed while I was writing this in. Or that I put in the wrong position or something. Yeah, see, there's a wait for fence here. And that's in for runner activity. So when does that get called here? It's called in render, which I don't even think we got that far. Oh, well, we probably, no, we did, probably. Call wait for fence there. And this is saying failed to submit to command queue, which is what I've written there. Hmm. Yeah, it's happening. He's getting this far. If checks, runtime checks flag. When enabled, LWJGL will perform basic checks during the operation, mainly to avoid crashes in native code. Interesting. I wonder if that's turned on. It is. Okay. So I passed the basic checks. Not that there's much there. It looks like it's just making sure the submit size of is validated, struct validate. And I guess it's validating structure too. That's emits. It doesn't check the fence. Hmm. What is going on there? That is a good question. Wonder if okay, submit info structures, buffer submission batch, command buffers, missions, execution order AP or MP submits. Transmission order. Return. The VKQ submit fails. It may return VK error out of host memory or VK error out of device memory. The implementation must ensure state contents of device lost. Host access to queue must be externally synchronized. Access to fence must be externally synchronized. Yeah, this certainly feels like a race condition kind of thing. I wonder if I can. let me see. LW GGL Vulcan. This is the book that we're looking through anyway. Let me see. Okay. What do I do? Engine. Validation layers. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. You need to install the Vulkan SDK for your platform. Okay. And this is the Lunar G thing I saw. All right. So Vulkan SDK. Linux. This with the recent Ubuntu. Should distribute package repository for Vulkan development libraries. Otherwise, you may download and build for publicly available repositories. Package repository for Vulkan development libraries. Okay, so find progressive packages. Should tell me the package names. Vulkan validation layers. Can try that. Let me see. Of course, it doesn't show up in there. Cross official Vulkan validation layers. Okay. Good validation layers. Let's see. Apt install Vulkan validation. Oop. Okay. Setting up. Done. Okay. So I have that now. So let's just run this and see if I get anything different. I doubt it. Just another PID file, but another core dump, but maybe it'll have more information in it. No. No, it really doesn't. Wait a minute. No such method error. Link resolver now. Alright, so nothing helping me there. So command Q. Oh, you know what? Let's look at my log again. Support layers, Cronus, VK layer, Cronus validation. No validation supported. Still nothing else. Huh. Yeah, I'm just plain stumped on this now. Because I don't know. I don't know where to even begin to kind of to figure out where things have gone wrong here. To Q. So it seems like the submit info is, well, no, the Q is probably 14, get device Q, create Q. So, device queue there. Device queue, long queue, VKQ, queue device, get VK device. this looks like. Pointer and device are fine. And Q has that. Oh, I took the breakpoint away. That's what it was. It's like, why did that stop? The second time through here. So I think it has the same queue as before. It's just now submit info and fence handle are populated. No, fence handle is populated. Submit info is there too. Okay. Right, because we just created one. So 24060891 blah 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 blah. What's the submit info here? So we have that. this one. 040-221-969-7727-28. Okay, so it is different. So it did get a different submit info, which is correct. I was just doing a sanity check there mostly. So in debug mode, it's telling me that, well, it's telling me this, failed to submit command to queue. Yeah, I don't know what's. This is boggling my mind right now. I know it's got to be something really dumb on my part. But trying to find it is the problem right now. All right. I'm going to stop there for right now. Again, sorry for like the a little bit shorter session plus so like I'm back to where in working condition here for the most part, so that's good. It's just we're stuck right now. We're stuck on this bug, and it's going to be a matter of probably going through every line of code, fine-tooth comb to see what I messed up. And honestly, it's probably going to be a lot of just, I gotta look at every single class. In the examples there and do like a comparison. I mean, there's going to be differences because I've variables are different and I've changed a few things here and there. But maybe I can do some file diffs and see what the differences are, and maybe that'll show something. That's the only problem. Like if I had followed the tutorial directly and straight through, in theory this would be working fine right now. But I have departed a little bit from it, put my own style on it. And that's what's getting me into trouble right now. Most likely. But alright, that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. I should get back to this again next week. And I've got vacation coming up next week, so I might do some morning streams where I code, maybe. In addition to the nighttime streams, we'll see. It is a vacation. I do want to get some stuff, relax, but also get some stuff done and things like that. So we'll see what the schedule will bring. But I'm kind of thinking that right now. Regardless, we'll have our normal. I think we should have our normal Friday night coding session. Next Saturday, I believe I have a family outing to go to, so probably won't be any streams next Saturday. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure that's the case, because I think next Saturday is the 5th. I think so. That I think is what's going to happen there. And yeah, I mean, we'll just take it from there, I guess. Anyway, all that being said, I'm going to come back in a little bit, and I do want to play some more Planet Crafter tonight. So I'm going to go offline. I'm going to take a little break, maybe like a half an hour or so, and then be back online, like say, yeah, about a half an hour. So it'll be like 9:15, 9:20 my time. And I'm going to sit down and have some cozy, chill Planet Crafter fun. So that's what I'm going to do there. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out and keeping me company and all of those things. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Also, if you run across this on the YouTubes, a like and or a subscribe would be really awesome and swell and terrific and tremendous and very much appreciated. It helps out a lot. But like I said, I'll be back in another half an hour or so with some gaming. So until then, see you, bye.
Oopsie.